Hey guys, my name is Miska and welcome to Overwatch Central. A bit of a news video today, just talking about what's happening in the community and also some things that I feel like we kind of brushed over the past few days. First off, reports regarding inaccurate role queue SR. There hasn't actually been that many. I feel like it's kind of looks like it's more than it actually is, but there have definitely been some, so I thought I'd cover them real quick and explain some things that I've seen a lot of questions about. So this is a beta season to begin with, and for a pretty good reason. They need more data to work out what they are going to do with the entire system and see what they're going to tweak. The PTR isn't really that useful when it comes to things like this because they just don't have enough of a player base on there. So this is a beta season, and I feel like honestly so far so good. There are some issues though, but I don't think the entire system is just fully broken. The main reports I've seen regarding inaccurate role queue SR has to do with higher rank. So if you're like a 4.2 or just a pretty highly rated above GM player and you play the game quite a bit and occasionally hopped on other roles, when you place on say support, even if DPS is your main, you might still place very high on support even though you kind of shouldn't. That's something I've seen pop up a little bit with some streamers and such, and definitely something that should be looked into. I saw Aspen tweet about inaccurate role queue SR and that there should be more harder sort of resets. A suggestion I've seen a lot that I like is trying to have the roles that you haven't played a lot trend more towards a neutral sort of 2.5k rating. Not just be set 2.5k for everyone that haven't played enough games on other roles, but it seems like some of those SRs that have been tracked for other roles have been when you've had to hop on those roles for just a game or two here and there, which isn't really that useful. It's worth noting though that the SR for this season doesn't really count towards your SR for next season. It doesn't really change your MMR much just by default. Blizzard are going to tweak that individually, I'm sure, and it's likely they will change some things for the official role queue launch when it comes out of beta on September 1st. Up until then, we're just gonna have to play more and sit tight and play until our SRs are more accurate, because the more we play, the more data Blizzard have, so it's really useful for them too. Speaking of September though, we do have one thing I want to bring up again, and first off, it's just mentioning this Jeff clip where he's talking about something coming in not too long. Here's the clip for context.
There's other things that are very soon. So,
very soon?
Yeah.
You don't say very soon willy-nilly.
I don't say very soon willy-nilly. Very soon I would give a 2-week window. Soon, non-Blizzard soon, just Jeff soon is like a month or two from now. We have something exciting a month or two from now.
Wow.
Let's say late fall, early fall, late summer. I don't know if it's late summer, early fall. I don't know when the seasons change, the official date. But there's something very cool happening around that time period.
So there's something in the sort of back to school or maybe even September period. It seems like with September 1st, when other things launch, might seem like it coincides very nicely. But if it's anything in-game, it would actually hit the PTR first. And that Thursday then of the same week, so September 3rd, seems like a pretty good day if it's something that would hit in-game. Thursdays are just so much more likely for PTR patch days overall. The reason as to why I'm bringing this up is because in the PTR has concluded post that we always get at the end of a PTR testing session, we had this mention saying that there would be more updates in the very near future for the PTR. So that's pretty cool to see. We don't have word on exactly what this is yet, but looking back at what they've done previous years and also where Blizzard have been heading lately, there are definitely good guesses to be made, but I'll save that for a video later on in the discussion for which it makes a little bit more sense. But yeah, something is coming to the PTR not too long, and Jeff was talking about the back to school period. Early September seems pretty likely right now. Moving on, I want to actually mention a top post on r/Overwatch that I saw today saying that Blizzard should add a stat for healing received, and I really like the idea of that. Obviously supports will feel like the DPS actually see how much they have healed them, but it opens up for a whole nother discussion, which once again I think is really important. This is one of the key things that Siegel mentioned a long time ago in his State of Overwatch video, where he talked about things like role queue helping, the issues with ultimates in the game, and they've kind of addressed those with the recent patch. They've added role queue, a lot more structure to it, and they've actually nerfed the overall ultimates in the game by upping the ultimate cost. But one thing that Blizzard have not really addressed at all yet is the lack of information you have as a player, and I think you could go even further than just adding a stat that is healing received and allow players to have more useful, more more role-specific stats in their screens, in their score screens. For example, healing done stat is kind of useless unless you're playing support. It's not really a good measurement. Like, what are you going to use that on as tank or DPS? It just doesn't really make any sense. So I think customizing those more and giving more useful stats there, as well as maybe allowing you to change and choose what stats you want to have on your screen, could be really useful, because sometimes it can be very hard to identify issues in teams when playing Overwatch. So I think they should really get to work in terms of giving the players more stats now, or at least start thinking about that. It's something I would like to see in a not too distant future for sure. Real quick as well, Ryan and I are actually going to Gamescom next week. I thought I'd mention it on this channel just in case anyone's there. Blizzard are not actually at the convention fully. They are selling some merch, but they're not doing any Overwatch stuff there. But we're going for various other reasons. So if you see us, then stop by and just say hi. We'll be tweeting so you can see what we're wearing those days, so you can spot us a bit easier. We'll probably be by the Omen and HyperX booth. I was thinking to make it some more silly and not so serious content that week, or at least a video like that for when we're away. So if you have any suggestions for like a fun tier list video or something like that, then feel free to drop those in the comments, and we may very well use that idea if we spot something that we feel like looks fun to make. Other than that, I thought I mentioned that the issues in quick play, and I think even versus AI actually, with some really weird role queue style limitations being put in, are both bugs that are being fixed right now. That's not intended, and it should be fixed very soon, potentially even tonight. The devs have acknowledged this. There have been several posts about it, so that is being worked on right now. That's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.